Man, SummerSlam was one for the ages. A great show with a heartbreaking finish that's got the IWC scratching their head and stating their opinions. We're going to talk all that, the fallout, and a little lanyard for you on this live stream edition of the World Elite Podcast. Let's go. Yeah.
So what does it mean to be a raging Cajun? Southwest Louisiana, wreck your face, man. Still don't get it in, I'ma let you know. All you gotta do is come and join the show.
Well, hello again, everybody. We are the highest tier pod of your weekly unfiltered wrestling and entertainment. Welcome to the World Elite Podcast, sponsored by 80s Tees. You know the drill. Go to 80stees.com. Use our promo code World Elite to get 30% off your order. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts, and we're on YouTube as well. I'm your host, Marcus, at Marcus Elite 337 on Twitter, X. Still figuring that out. I think I'm going to call it Twitter X from now on, because some are still saying Twitter. I don't know what the fuck it's called either.
Whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called anymore.
I mean, you type it in the App Store, you type Twitter, it comes up X, but instead of retweets, it's reposts now. I have no idea. Anyhow, we got a guest here. Not only is he making his World Elite debut, you've seen him on the internet. He's like playing WWE 2K23, Universe Mode, creating these amazing storylines, sharing it on. He's in our group chat. He chats with the Bloodline Entertainment Network, the UW Pod. He chats with everybody. Talks wrestling. hailing from the great state of Michigan, and maybe the biggest Bray Wyatt fan I've ever met. It's Isaac.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How you doing today, man?
What's up? Pretty good. Yeah, thanks for having me on here. Appreciate
no problem.
it.
Of course, Dylan's tuning in. Got the overlay made for us at the last second, of course. What up, Justin, from the End Time Wrestling Podcast?
Going on,
tuning in. So, yeah, like I was wondering, I don't know why I pictured you had eyeglasses.
No, I do got glasses, but not on today.
Well, there I go thinking again. Predicting that. So, real quick, tell me a little bit about yourself. How'd you become a wrestling fan? Who inspired you? And your obsession with 2K23 or not just any of the wrestling video games. Like, you do, like, universe modes and you share your videos on YouTube, on Twitch and everything. And you've come up with some great storylines and everything. I'm like, WWE needs to hire him as a creative writer and whatnot.
Right.
As well. What's up, Jordan?
Something for the future,
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Never know. All right. Yeah, what's up? I'm from Michigan. I've been watching pro wrestling probably since 2014, so it's been it's probably like 8 years, I'd say. Something like
almost
that. 9 years almost.
Almost about 9
years. Yeah. Yeah, my uncle my uncle really got me into it. That's how I started watching. I've been hooked on it ever since, so fell in love with it, So, yeah, just something I kind of stuck with, since I was younger. So.
Have you ever, went back on Peacock and watched, the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era that you didn't get to see?
Yeah, last year I started watching stuff from, 98, the Raws and stuff, the pay-per-views. I was actually going through the whole year almost. I started in January with the Raws, and I think I went all the way up until June. And I've been watching the pay-per-views and stuff from that time, too. But kind of lost track of that. I think I left off. Last pay-per-view I watched was, I think it was Fully Loaded or Unforgiven or something like that. Something that I wasn't alive to witness it, but it is kind of cool to go back and see that stuff. I haven't really seen before, so yeah, pretty exciting stuff for sure.
Yeah. Now tell us about this, doing the 2K Universe mode on YouTube and Twitch, where you play weekly and you come up with great storylines and ideas. And now when you do this, do you flip a coin and say, who do I want to pick to win? Or do you just let the computers fight against each other and whoever wins? They got people who do it different ways. What's up, Tim, from the Tim King
What's
Show?
up, Tim?
I was going here because
you go ahead. Are you going to say something?
Oh, no. Like I said, I've seen universe modes, or I've played universe modes where if I want somebody that I want somebody to win, I'm going to play as that person. Or I'll flip a coin if I don't know who I want to win, or I just let the computers fight each other, and then I'll take the winner from there. Yeah.
No. Usually I'm controlling the superstar that wins.
Okay.
That's the way I do it. I don't know. When the CPUs fight, AIs can be kind of stupid at times, maybe a lot of the time. So, I try to make the most realistic. What's that?
Have you ever felt like you were the only person in the world doing this, and then you on Twitter they got other people that do it too, do their own?
No, not at all. See, what I do is I write stuff down in my notes on my phone. See, I got this stuff planned out in advance. A lot of it, all the pay-per-views and stuff I do, everything's planned out in advance. So I guess you can kind of say I'm running the show in real life, even though it's in the gaming world.
I've been doing that since I started doing that with WrestleMania X8 on the GameCube. I kind of did it with No Mercy, but I was kind of getting the hang of trying to do my own. When I've owned other wrestling games in the past, I did it too. When I had that crappy TNA video game, I did it with them. AEW Fight Forever, I don't have it. I've read a lot of bad reviews about it, and I was like,
yeah, I got
play it.
The Road to Elite, it's I don't know. It was a tough playthrough, that's for sure. I expected so much more out of a game that's been in the build for 2.5, 3 years, almost. I'd say close to it. I just feel like they could have done so much more with it, but it is what it is. But yeah, I expected so much more of that. The gameplay itself is fun. It's just there's a lot of stuff that's missing that I could use. But hey, it's the first year of the video game. I think Kenny Omega says they're going to add stuff to it as the year goes on, so I guess we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. When you play your universe mode, when you do like pay-per-views and stuff, do you just go by the city that it was given, or you just randomly pick a city and say, I'm doing it here?
It's just randomly, honestly. Because, see, unlike previous years, the whole layout's different. It doesn't really tell you the city you're in. You can still select the cities, but it ain't like, what I hate about this year, I mean, I like universe mode, don't get me wrong, but what I hate about this is they took the promos out. No promos, no show intros. Like, man, that's what makes the universe, I can't really, I'm building proper feuds on there, but I can't build a real good feud unless I got promos. Just matches, and the rival. I mean, I love the rivalry action system too. I think it's a pretty cool touch, but I miss the old days where you can just separate and running, But they got all these options, but a lot of it's still broken. Needs to be fixed,
See,
it is what it is.
All I do is like I just think of a city. Back in the day, I would just pick a city in my head and just say I'm doing it here. I would do that with the Big Four. Like before, I just went with where they went in real life with the Big Four. I would just pick an NFL stadium from Madden and be like, I want to host a WrestleMania here or here.
Right.
Like, I'll go to Madden and find my stadium for WrestleMania. Be like, I would love to do one here or here, and say I'm doing it here.
Right.
But then it got to the point where, like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with where they go in real life. Wherever WrestleMania is, that's where I'm gonna do mine. And then I did the same thing with the Big Four. Like,
right. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. Never thought about that.
And then I changed it to where, like, if they're going international, like, if they go to Saudi or London or Puerto Rico, I did those same pay-per-views there too. But, because I've shared some ideas to you, like, whenever they did the Bloodline Civil War at Money in the Bank, I said, I'm going to do that at my SummerSlam, but I'm going to have all four of them have titles, and we're going to put them all on the line, and the winning team gets all the gold.
Right, yeah, for sure. Yep.
And and of course, Roman and Solo won, so they both got tag titles. In my universe mode, Solo's the U.S. champion, and Roman is the undisputed WWE. So they got 3 belts, but I think I'm about to just say fuck it and drop the red and blue belts. And just put the fucking penny belts until they come up with a new design of the tag titles. And then I'll go download it on Community Creations.
Right, here's the thing. My main event yesterday was Styles and Roman. I was using Roman. Styles decides to pin me off a normal move, which I wasn't really too thrilled about. So now Styles is my Universal Champion, and that wasn't the plan. But, it is what it is. But like I said, the CPUs, AIs are just – they're pretty stupid.
I was gonna just use the regular big gold belt, but I was like, you know what? I found a badass actual version of today's world title on Community Creations, and I just downloaded it. And I did the same with the WWE title and the 2 women's titles. So
I just seen them. I know you like the tweet, but I downloaded that Winged Eagle from Community Creations and put it on Cody. So
I thought you used you used the one that came in the game.
Nope, it's one from Community Creations. It's got the new WWE logo on it compared to the old one. I mean, I could have used the old one, but trying to just keep up to date with stuff, Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna talk SummerSlam that happened last night in Detroit. I was scratching my head, because you remember the last time they were at Ford Field, they ended up putting 80,000 people supposedly in there, but they filled the whole stadium up. They only curtained off like a quarter of the stadium, like they did for the Rumble. I went to the Royal Rumble in San Antonio. They only curtained off a quarter of it where they could put up 50 in a stadium that could fit 60. So, and they had the camera angle different. They had the camera angle facing a different direction, unlike they did for WrestleMania 23. But they were able to still get a big crowd. They had 59,194 in attendance, but some people thought that was
that's what they say. They like when we really know I don't know. It's just what was it? Was it Dallas? They went for WrestleMania. They said they had like 100 and like some thousand, I think it was, and then they report that was all crap or whatever. I don't know.
So
So
the first year they went, they said 101,000, and that was also including standing room only and the workers. They weren't including
right,
just fans. But
right, yeah,
I went to WrestleMania last year in Dallas. Both nights they only had around 70,000, and I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, I thought
right,
there was 100,000 people, or at least 90,000.
right,
No, they said it was 77,000 one
yeah.
night and 78 the next night. Where in 2016 they supposedly had 101,000. So I don't
Right.
know
Well,
which.
I'm curious. I'm wondering how they count all that. Like it's just interesting how they know that exact number, you know. And I don't know, they just go with it off the top of their head. Like, okay, we got this many people,
They go
even
by
though, you know,
ticket.
like I said,
They go by ticket
yeah,
sales, or is there somebody with a
right,
clicker that's like, oh, whoever scans a ticket,
right,
we click?
yeah.
I have no idea. I've always wondered that.
It's crazy. It's crazy how they do that. They got their ways, though, you know, secret ways, I'm sure.
So the show kicks off with Logan Paul versus Ricochet, which they announced, and a couple of guests I had on our prediction show said that they were going to kick off because Logan Paul was going to hop on a jet and fly to Dallas to be in his brother's corner for his fight against Nate Diaz,
Which
he did in his ring gear, and Jake Paul pulled up in a fucking army tank. And I didn't even watch the fight.
Yeah.
I just saw that on Twitter X.
Right. Yeah, I think it took him 4 hours to get back to the. I think he got there just in time too, right before he was about to go to the octagon. So,
Well, yeah,
you know,
traffic
definitely
these
good.
days.
Right. Oh yeah. I feel safer in a plane than I do on the road nowadays, to be honest.
I don't know if he flew to an airport or did they fly to the arena. Because if he flew to an airport, I'm pretty sure they chauffeured him through that Dallas traffic.
Yeah, I'm guessing obviously he flew private. I'm guessing he flew to the airport. Probably got like in a private vehicle or whatever, one of those black SUVs, and they got, like I said, I don't know. They probably, I'm not sure if they had cops around them as they were driving to that venue, but you know,
making it look like the president was
Right.
in town. Oh no, it's a dipshit.
Right. Yep, for sure.
Now this is what's kind of funny here. So you remember on Raw last week, Logan was criticizing Ricochet, saying, "Hey, isn't the ring announcer your fiance, Samantha?
Right.
Your fiance?" Well, why was she wearing the same color as Logan Paul's ring gear? Why was she wearing a yellow dress? Like, was that a setup? Like, hey, I want you to wear yellow because Logan wears
I
black
don't know.
and yellow. We want you to wear yellow.
Right.
I didn't know nothing about it until Corey Graves opened his mouth. And, Corey Graves was reminding me
Right.
of Jerry the King Lawler right now. Justin says,
Right.
as much as I wanted Ricochet to win, Logan winning was the right choice, and the ending protected Ricochet. Let's hope they have some. Yeah, I agree. I knew he hasn't won a match in a year. It's been good, TK. I had a wonderful birthday weekend. I'm still recovering from. I thought I was going to end up like Al Wilson after Friday night, but other than that, I'm doing fine. This match, but it wasn't bad. But I felt like they could have did more. I thought it was going to be jaw dropping, but they did that to protect Logan so they can get him on Dallas without being seriously hurt. There were some.
I want
them to
do that.
What's that?
Oh, I said I want to do that spot with the Rumble again. They like went on opposite sides of the apron and just collided. I'm like, oh, I wanted to see that again, but they probably didn't. I don't know. They didn't want to get Logan too roughed up, I guess, before his brother's fight. So.
Well, they had that part where they did the Spanish fly off the ring apron.
Oh, that was cool. 100%. Yeah, and Ricochet landed it on his feet. I'm like, what the hell, dude? That's crazy athleticism.
And they did it again on the floor. And of course, Logan Paul. I don't even know why I drink Prime Energy. I guess because it helps. It helps me rehydrate.
Right.
But they sponsor him, and he carried one to the ring, and then he took a Prime from a kid in the front row, or he gave him one and he gave it back. I guess it was some new, but Logan Paul won, and then you saw Samantha's face. Like there was a bonus footage, like she looked like she wanted to cry because she had that the winner, and he tried to get her to do it one more time. I don't know if she did it twice.
It's like you could tell she was just ready to smack the shit out of Logan Paul. I was waiting for that, man. That would have been hilarious as hell. That probably would have made the show actually more better than it actually was. She just slapped the hell out of Logan Paul right after he went over there. I'm surprised he didn't go up to her and taunt it, honestly, like whipped right in front of her face and started taunting at her, because that would have been so funny.
Oh yeah, and they should have slapped the piss out of him. They went a solid 18 minutes. I figured it had less time because they were going to try and rush him to get on a jet. I was waiting for him to fucking sprint out the ring. He didn't do none of that. He was taking it all in. He was taking his slow time back to the gorilla position, and then I take it he sprinted his ass to the jet.
I'm sure he did. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Real quick before we move on, I want to kind of criticize some people because, they got a lot of hateful people in this world. But, they were bashing that they thought Kid Rock was going to perform at SummerSlam. No, they just used him for the intro video, which it was a cool intro.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Kid Rock's from Detroit. Why wouldn't you use one of the top singers, in the world today for that? Just fits perfect,
Who else were you going to use? Gene Simmons?
Right. I love Gene Simmons. I'm a Kiss fan, so I don't mind Kiss.
But I thought he was going to actually perform because, it'd been really funny if he did because, remember last year at SummerSlam, he made out with that big old ass bitch in the front row.
Yeah, that was something else. That was something else for sure.
I think
I was just sitting there in silence.
I think he was drinking Bud Light before he bashed Bud Light in that TikTok video, fucking shooting him with an AK-47. But it'd have been funny if they had Kid Rock perform at SummerSlam, and then 8 months before you had the Southern version of Kid Rock, Hardy, perform at the Royal Rumble.
Right.
I always said Hardy was like a Southern version of Kid Rock.
I love Hardy, but man, that performance is rough. Wasn't the best.
I was there for it. So
how did that sound live? Because on TV it came out like it was not good at all.
It sounded all right. I mean, the pyro kept getting involved, but there was at one point when he would scream, it sounded like shit. When he would actually sing,
But he's probably doing all those tours. You're gonna lose your voice, so that doesn't help either.
Yeah, he did that in the middle of a tour, by the way.
Right. Yeah. So it happens.
Next up, we get Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. First off, I don't know what the people on Twitter X are saying, but that woe in Detroit was not the loudest one of the year. I'm still giving that to Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah, I've heard louder for sure. The Backlash one too was probably louder than that, to be honest. I don't know. Just
it's out of WrestleMania, Backlash, or Money in the Bank. What was the loudest whoa?
I'd say probably Money in the Bank. You got the O2, they got really hardcore, passionate fans in there.
I loved Money in the Banks because they actually sung the song from start to finish.
Right.
They sung the whole song like Clash at the Castle did for Edge when he came out. Right.
Yeah, that's cool. It definitely gives the show a lot more energy when you got the crowd saying all the people's themes, It adds something to it, Character and all that, just everything.
Well, and it was surprising to see, Cody's mom was in the front row. I think wasn't his sister in the front row too. There was a few family members of his in the front. Before the bell rang, he jumped Brock from behind. He hit a couple of bounced off the rope drop kicks, but drop on the ground, uppercut to the face. Then he tried to hit a Cody cutter and took him to Suplex City. And I was laughing at Michael Cole, stay down, you're not invincible. Brock's not even human. Give up. Cody.
What got
You're
me?
not mortal.
Right? What got me? He kept on rolling out of the ring. 7-8 times, I think he rolled out of the ring. I'm like, dude, what the hell's going on here? He gets hit, rolls out, gets hit, rolls out. I'm like, dude, is he going to roll out this whole match? Rolling in the same spot, constantly. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Then that's where Brock got out to the outside and started suplexing the hell and hit the F5. think once on the floor, then went to the table.
I'm trying to figure out, how did Brock's pants rip?
I've seen that. I don't know if anyone else seen that or not. No one else really seemed to be catching up on that. I seen it too. I'm like, well, that's not part of his gear because they did look ripped for sure.
Just said, thank God this feud is over. Zero interest and zero reasoning for it, but at least the last match. Well, you know what? I'll probably will say that was their best match. I mean, it was obvious Cody's going to win. He's got that John Cena treatment right now. He's trying to so-called finish the story. I did not expect was Brock being a team player. He takes his gloves off and he shakes Cody's hand. They hug and then he's raising his arm in victory. And then people think that's it for Brock. Like, you think Brock's done there? Is that an announcement he's going, or you think he's just taking a break?
He's taking a break. He'll be back. He'll be back for Crown Jewel or wherever the hell the next Saudi pay-per-view is. Triple H even said in the press conference yesterday that was unplanned, I guess. That was not supposed to happen. So Brock's a big teddy bear, as you can see, I guess, in real life. You know, I went on Twitter and I said this. I'm not sure if you've seen my Twitter, and I said 2014 Brock would not have done that. Interacting with the fans, giving high fives. I've never seen Brock this. It's like like I said, these last few years for Brock have been. I think he's enjoying the hell out of this run. You can tell he's having fun, and he's putting people over like he should. I think Brock's probably gonna hang it up sooner or later. It's just a matter of time. What else does he got to accomplish? Nothing really. He's done it all. So yeah, but it's just like he's putting people on his way out. I think over. So.
Do you see him potentially going back as a babyface when he comes back, or go back as Cowboy Brock?
Honestly, well, I'll just say this. Brock, I think, tweener, right? That's the word you call it, right? Tweener. I don't know. Brock's just going to be Brock. He's going to do whatever the hell he wants to. So, probably his cowboy version, cowboy hat, whatnot.
All right,
I can see that.
We get to the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royale, which, by the way, Slim Jim did not sponsor SummerSlam. It was either Rocket Mortgage or C4 Energy. I'm thinking one of them could have sponsored. No, they get Slim Jim, but I think I read that it was not the 25-year anniversary, because he's been doing commercials for Slim Jim longer than that. Like, they were kind of paying homage to Macho Man because they showed highlights of classic Slim Jim commercials, and they wanted to do something to honor him. So they were like, we're going to sponsor a battle royal in memory of him, because I went back and watched one of the commercials, the one that had LA Knight and another superstar, and then they're like in a classroom or something, and then they had a little box TV in the corner, and they were showing the Macho Man one from WCW.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool, commercial, what they did. LA Knight and Bianca Belair.
I think it was Bianca.
Pretty funny.
I thought it was either Bianca or Bailey with LA Knight in that commercial. It was one of them. Yeah,
I believe it might have been. I can't remember. It might have been Bianca or Bailey. But I thought it was a cool, nice little touch to the show, I guess. It's LA Knight. What's not to like, right?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be a 20-man. Then over the weekend, they extended the numbers. They said there was going to be 25 men. They already had 24 on the card. You had Apollo Crews, JD McDonough, Rick. Right. This is actually by order of elimination, by the way. But they had Apollo Crews, JD McDonough, Rick Boogs, Otis, Ivar, Eric, Shinsuke Nakamura, Tommaso Ciampa, Cameron Grimes, Austin Theory, Santos Escobar, Giovanni Vinci, Ludwig Kaiser, Rich Holland, Butch, Matt Riddle, Omos, The Miz, Grayson Waller, Karrion Kross, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, AJ Styles, Sheamus, and LA. That were your participants. As soon as the bell rang, here comes MVP. And everyone thought Braun Breaker was going to make a surprise
moment.
Entry. It's Omos. And we haven't seen
Omos. Moment of the night. Moment of the night right there.
That's your return for SummerSlam?
See,
horrible.
I thought, I was like, well, 25. I said, well, Triple H is booking this. Something there has to be a return. Triple H, he likes his returns. I was thinking maybe like Carlito or something, something in that nature, because there was rumors about him coming back. But yeah, it's like almost. I'm like, wait, what? It's like, well, let's see here. Well, you know what? People start directly blaming that towards Vince. Oh, Omos, okay. Oh, Vince booked this. Well, Triple H might did all the good of his heart to help the healing process for Vince there a little bit. Make him feel good about himself. But yeah, it was. I'd started dying laughing when Omos came out. I'm like, oh, look at it, it's Omos.
I was getting concerned
hilarious.
first. I was holding my head. I was like, if Omos wins this fucking match,
right?
But he was in there a good bit. I mean, I knew it was going to take like the whole ring to eliminate him. So there was like it took like 8 guys to throw Omos over the top rope. A big shout out to LA Knight eliminating Bronson Reed on his own. That was fucking.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought it was going to come down. I thought at first it was either going to come down to LA Knight and Omos or LA Knight and AJ Styles. It came out to LA Knight and Sheamus. I was getting a little nervous. And I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, don't fuck this up. Let him win.
Right.
Let him win this. I mean, it's not for a title shot or not. There's no prize. Just give us what we want. Let him win a PLE match. And he eliminates. He eliminates Sheamus, and the crowd. Oh my god! I heard my echo.
Yeah, I was getting nervous too. I wouldn't mind a Sheamus one. I love Sheamus, but it's like you gotta give LA Knight this one. Like, come on now, you can't really just build up LA Knight again, have him lose like you've been doing the last few months. But yeah, like I don't know, this battle royal whenever you can get anything. I don't think it was for. Because Austin Theory was in it too, in case you didn't see that, which I didn't understand that at all. That made zero. I'm like, what? Just so Santos Escobar can eliminate. Right.
There was no prize, so I figured he was going to be in it. Just said for a match with nothing attached to it, it was pretty good, and the right winner, yeah. What made me laugh? What made me laugh too was on Instagram, Slim Jim's official Instagram account commented on WWE's video of LA Knight eliminating Sheamus, and they put "yeah" as the comment. So I'm like, they approve that. Everyone loves LA Knight.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. He's definitely. They said he's a fan favorite. Backstage, there's a lot of people that support him. Even last night, he says, "What was it? The press conference." He's like, "They didn't strap the rocket to my back. I did that myself." Yeah. So awesome. I don't know. So I hope I'm assuming from what I seen last night, the push is coming sooner rather than later. So I guess all we gotta do is wait and see.
And here's what I'm saying. I'm speaking on behalf of the Yeah movement. You don't have to have him dethrone Roman. Just give him. I want him to take the title from Austin Theory, and I'm an Austin Theory guy.
Same here. Yep.
If I want anybody to take it off of Theory, I want it to be LA Knight.
I think it will be. I don't see Santos Escobar winning that match. I mean, he could. It's possible. They do love to throw a lot of swerves our way, but maybe, I don't know, maybe LA Knight somehow gets added to that match. I could see that possibly too.
I mean, if Santos wins, I'll be happy for him. I was trying to figure out a shirt DWO, but I was like, oh, Detroit World Order. It was.
I was like, what? I was confused at first. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah. Speaking of Detroit, it would have been perfect last night eating a Detroit-style pizza while watching SummerSlam from Detroit.
Right.
No, I fucking Domino's.
Not to rib on any Lions fans, I'm a Packer fan, but they filled that stadium up pretty good last night for the event.
You're not a Lions fan, you said? You're a Packers fan?
No, I'm not. I'm a Packers fan, yep.
I can't believe they said that Ford Field's going to be sold out for regular season games for Lions.
For regular season, yeah. And props to them. Like, I cheer for the Lions when I'm not watching the Packers, I'm still going to cheer for the home state team. Just when they're not playing the Packers, though. But I'm in the upper part of Michigan, so I'm, connected. So we kind of sit on the border of Wisconsin, so where I'm at, there's technically more Packer fans than Lions fans. So.
Now, what about, Pistons, Red Wings, Tigers?
See, I used to watch baseball. See, I mainly just stick to football. I don't know. I played basketball and baseball. Playing the sports is fun. I don't know. I don't really watch baseball and basketball. It's mostly just football. Like I'll pop baseball on every now and then, but mostly just football, college football too. You know.
Yeah, I can see you're a Jim Harbaugh guy. You support the Big Blue.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Hopefully
So
we do good this season. We'll see.
here, real quick before we move on, who do you hate more, Ohio State or Michigan State?
Ohio State. And last night, if you didn't catch it or not, but I think what was it? I think Logan Paul's from Ohio, right?
He's from Ohio, but he supposedly has a house in Puerto Rico.
Right. Well, I guess they were saying "fuck Ohio State" when he was out there, so I thought that was pretty hilarious.
I've been to the
You don't mess with the Michigan fans. You don't mess with the Michigan fans. No, they're gonna let you hear it.
I would like to go see the big house in person. I've been to the Horseshoe, but I wore LSU gear over there, and they didn't tell me nothing. I was like, "Hey, I'm just visiting." I was like, "Can I?"
Right.
The stadium was open. I'm like, "Can I come see the stadium?" They were looking at my clothes. They were like, "Well, at least you're not wearing that blue, so yeah, you could come in." And they said it as a joke.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
like,
Yeah, I haven't been to the big house either because I'm like 6 hours away. Or more. I'm just 2 hours from Green Bay. So, like I said, I've been to Lambeau multiple times. Been there for a game and stuff.
oh,
But I haven't
God.
been to the big house yet. Something I want to do. You know.
Never got to do a Lambo
sure.
leap.
No, they won't let me on the field.
No.
They had it all roped off. So.
If I ever go to Lambeau, I used to like the Packers when Brett Favre was playing back in the day. But like, if I would love to get a big cheese head, just to say I had one.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it is a really cool stadium. You know, like heck, when I went there for the tour, there was Bear fans there too. It's like you have to see it. No matter what fan.
Oh yeah,
no matter
I would
what,
love to see it. Mm-hmm.
Right, no matter what team you're a fan of, you know, it's a cool experience for sure.
Well, I mean, me, Dylan, and Jordan, we're diehard Saints fans, but you know, we also
Right.
love the Bengals because of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase because we're big LSU guys. So
Right,
support them. But hey,
for sure.
okay, so moving on. My opinion, I think everyone can agree, the worst match, not just of the night, maybe the worst match of the year I'm nominating. We get this MMA rules so-called match, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey. I could tell those punches were so fake. And
Right.
if you wanted to make it MMA rules, you should have had Shayna dress in MMA gear like Ronda and not in her wrestling gear.
Right.
They should have had judges for first off. That I thought I lost you for a second.
No, we're good.
First off, they should have had judges. That's your first red flag. Shayna
Right.
should have wore her traditional MMA gear. That's another red. They didn't even have real MMA gloves on.
No, see, right. As much, you know, I love Ronda. I don't care what people say about her. Screw the haters. Love Ronda and Shayna, but yeah, I was like, if you're gonna stage an MMA fight, do it right. And to me, I'm surprised, you know, they didn't have the UFC. Like I thought they would sponsor UFC on the ring apron, like what they were doing with everything else, you know, with this merger and stuff with Endeavor. I'm surprised they didn't do that. But like you said, they could have had judges. Hell, they could have had, you know, I thought they were going to go fight pit, Triple H, you know.
That's what they
I thought for sure it was going to be the fight pit. That's what they should have did, yeah, but I don't know. It's just weird. Just the way they set it up. It was, yeah, like you said, though, it was, I didn't think, like I said, I love Ronda Shayna, but yeah, that match, it was not it. That's for sure.
It was the worst thing I saw. I don't know.
Like, at least make it more realistic. Like, I don't know. Just they could have did so much more with that. Or, you know, with this Endeavor deal, you know, would it have been too much to ask? You know, they could have had so much more to it. Like, they could have brought in maybe like a UFC official, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Make it more realistic, but it is what it is, I guess, you know.
Well, I'm going to move on because I have nothing else to throw there, but I will bring back up. They just announced Brock Lesnar is scheduled to appear at Fastlane, so he might be wrestling.
Oh, did
okay.
Yeah, it's it. That is interesting. I don't know who would he go up against, though. That is very interesting.
I don't know. As long as he's not competing for the title, I don't want to see Brock turn into an.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't want him to
Probably
do. I don't want him to start what Roman is doing right now, being a part-time champ and whatnot.
Right. I'm just curious to see who he would feud with. Because, that Cody story, that's done for, okay? Cody won, it's over. So I was like, who's next for Brock? Who would that person be?
I don't know. I mean,
You know?
everyone wants Brock versus Gunther, but you're not going to have it for the Intercontinental Championship. Brock ain't going to go after no mid-card title.
Oh, you gotta do that Survivor Series or Rumble. You can't, that's gotta be one of or the even Crown Jewel, It's gotta be one of the big PLEs,
Well, I mean, speaking of Gunther, we had Gunther versus Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship. It was good. I was expecting it to be a match of the year candidate, but it wasn't. I mean, it was not bad. It was a good match, but it didn't exceed to my expectations. It wasn't no 5-star classic like Gunther had with Sheamus at Clash at the Castle or their triple threat with Sheamus at WrestleMania. I'd rate it a solid 4. Something was missing.
Right.
Like the crowd really wasn't into it. I think they were kind of like
Right.
still trying to get back into the mood after watching that shit show of an MMA rules match.
Right. Yeah, I thought the triple threat mania was really, really good. And I think that was produced by Abyss. Was it Parks? Chris Parks is his name, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he produced. Yeah, because the producer list got leaked out yesterday ahead of the show, and they said Abyss produced that match, I guess, too. But yeah, I agree. Something just fell off there, but there were some cool moments, some near falls, But there, like in my predictions, I took Drew McIntyre. But I was thinking at the time, bro, okay, well, Gunther's got this record. He's got to beat it. There's no way Gunther loses that title. But I'm like, what would be the most W thing ever? Is if they have Gunther lose right before the record break, right before they have him break the record. And I was making a joke, like, only Roman can break records, no one else. So, could have gone either way.
Yeah, but good match. It was definitely better
For sure.
than that fucking dumpster fire. Justin said Shannon Ronda as a feud was way too rushed. Stipulation didn't help either. No one goes to a WWE show to watch MMA. Yeah, and then you think that's it for Ronda Rousey? She's done. She's gone. Going back to the UFC.
No, she'll be back. Probably Rumble. She's probably just taking another break, and she'll be back. Just like Brock or any of them. She could. Who knows? She says the UFC return is not out of the question. I guess, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Justin also said Gunther and Drew was good, but something fell off, and the ending was just so abrupt. I told you something. The crowd. I think the energy of the crowd. That's what they were missing.
Right. Yeah. Like they said.
You didn't hear a "This is awesome" chant or a "Fight Forever" chant. They were just kind of like, "Please be better than what we just saw."
Right.
Like, that's what I kept visioning.
Right. Yeah. For sure. Yep. Like I said, they could have done so much more. Like I said, there was some near falls in there. That was pretty interesting. But they definitely. I think they could have waited a little bit longer. I think. I think it would have been cool if they would have had Gunther powerbomb Drew off the top rope. Maybe that would have added a little something to it. But Gunther's got to break that reign. So.
All right. Then we get Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship, and I love how they put the build up into the match. Like Finn comes out, he kind of pulls his jacket to the side, and you see 7 with a line written across the shoulder where he tore his shoulder. Like it was
that was pretty cool.
Okay, we kind of got swerved here. Freddie swore that Seth was going to come out dressed like the Joker, because he revealed the back of his shoes that he wore, and it said 7 bitch on both heels of his shoes. And you saw the colors, you think, purple with green and a little orange. He thought it was the Joker. No, instead, he wore the vest he wore in 2016 when he tore Finn Balor's shoulder at SummerSlam 7 years ago with whatever he took from Gorgeous George's memorabilia. He came out in that. And which the crowd I love when the crowd just hums the song.
Right. For sure.
That could wake me up in a very good mood on a Monday morning. Just hearing the crowd,
Right.
like for
Yeah,
two
I thought
minutes.
he was gonna come out dressed as the Joker as well. Like, Mania too. I was like, I really want to see Seth come out. Like face paint and stuff. I think that'd be pretty dope.
Justin also said, honestly, thinks Drew is going to leave WWE when his contract expires. He really has nothing else left. I want to see him win the World Heavyweight title. Let him have another reign, and this time he wins it in front of fans. Unlike
I don't know. It's hard to tell, but we don't really know what goes on backstage. They report stuff. We don't really know the truth. Drew came out a month ago and he said him and the Hunter sat down and laughed at all the stuff that was like going around about him not being happy, this and that. So, like I said, we really don't know. But I personally don't think he's leaving. I think he's going to resign. I think he's waiting to get that better offer. I think the court's in his. I think the ball is in his court. I think he's going to get that offer eventually, sooner rather than later.
I don't want to see him leave. If he does leave, I'd rather him go to Impact than AEW right now, because they're going to just shit on him in AEW, and they're going to use him for one big storyline, and then he'll go be on Collision or Rampage or something.
Collision or Dark or Rampage, yeah. Who knows?
Or go put him on Ring of Honor.
Right.
Well, I felt like this match was getting very fast paced. The match was 18 minutes and 30 seconds. I thought it was like a 9-10 minute match. It went by so fast. Well, and near fall after near fall, kicking out of the curve stomp, kicking out of a pedigree, kicking out of a coup de grace, everything. And there were times he was hitting that coup de grace. I thought that was it. The way his facial reaction was, but no, Seth Rollins kicks out. Well, then here comes Damian Priest. I can see the fans pointing at the entrance, the parallel entrance. I'm like, okay, Damian's coming out. He's taking his time.
Yeah.
People kind of have a mixed reaction about it, and I'm trying to think, well, if he cashes in, is he going to cash in the middle of the match and just take it from away, or will he let Finn win it and take it from Finn, or if Seth retains, will he cash in after he retains? Like, I'm thinking in my head in multiple choice. But what was funny was, then here comes Rhea and Dominic from the crowd.
Hold up. I got to do something really quick. Is that okay? Give me a sec. Hold up.
Go ahead. I'm going to pop this comment up. Justin also said that Seth and Finn was great. Clearly, Priest was trying to help, but you can tell he also wanted to cash in, which Finn's seen that. Feels like Priest gets cash when it happens. Okay, so Justin, I'm going to throw it in right now until Isaac gets back. I will say clearly that with how it ended, I'm going to save it when Isaac gets here. Just by his facial reaction that has now been blown up on Twitter, they've been using it for memes and whatnot. We're going to see one or two options. They're already predicting a triple threat at Payback, where if he even don't cash in his contract, they think we're going to have a Seth, Finn, and Damian Priest. All right, you're back already. So if you missed, this is what Justin had to say. Seth and Finn was great. Clearly, Priest was trying to help, but you could tell he also wanted to cash in. Well, before what I was saying, before you came back, Rhea and Dominic come through the crowd. As soon as Dominic's face got shown on the screen, they booed him the whole fucking time. And
that man's getting massive heat constantly.
Big thank you to Seth Rollins for a curve stomping him on the floor. But the uppercut by Damian, where he runs into Finn, he does this little spin move and then hit the coup de grace. I thought that was it there, but he kicked out.
Yeah,
then he did it again.
I took Finn.
Yeah,
I thought Finn was going to win. That was my prediction. I'm like, well, 7 years. I'm like, Seth loves to give back, And I'm like, well, after what happened 7 years ago, Seth probably feels like shit for doing that. What happened with his shoulder and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I could see Seth putting over from down here. I thought it would have been a perfect time, but I'm not mad. That's what I'm saying. But I feel like Finn, he should have won it, 100%.
That was the only match I lost last night. Every match I picked, I won except that one. But
yeah, I lost two.
It looked like it was all a hoax. Like you see Finn act like he's kind of arguing with Damian, and then they go distract the referee. And as soon as Finn turned around, Damien slid the briefcase in the ring to give to Finn. I just thought that was the perfect finish for a great match. Finn goes to retrieve the briefcase while the referee's distracted from Rhea, and Seth hit a curve stomp on the briefcase, kicks the briefcase out, hits a 1-2-3, and then Damien's looking like, fuck. But it was not Damien's fault. There's no one to blame. There's no one to blame Seth, but we wanted Seth to win. That's
what makes it interesting. That's what makes it interesting. You know, we just don't know where this is going, and that's the interesting part about it. You know, we don't know what's next. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a split in Judgment Day. That's definitely coming, but you know, I think they see Priest as a babyface now. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Raw Monday you're going to see. I'm predicting you're going to see a full babyface turn from Damian Priest tomorrow night on Raw.
Finn's like pissed at Damien. Like, Damien's not to be blamed for this. You blame Seth Rollins, even though we wanted this. I just thought it connected so well. Like, I didn't expect he was going to curve stomp him on the briefcase. And I like how they kept the same camera angle. Like, it looked like a close-up shot. And then you see the stomp. You just see Seth's boots in his pants, and he kicks the briefcase out, and then they change the camera angles. They have the normal angle, and then it's over. And I'm like, holy crap, that was a wonderful finish with perfect camera angles. And then you see Damien's face. Like, he's like, fuck, I'm never going to hear the end of this. But what I was trying to tell Justin is that I don't know if it's either going to go to a triple threat at Payback, or Finn's going to be tired of his shit. And he's like, I'm done. I'm leaving Judgment Day. I'm doing my own thing.
Right. See, you know, I think it's going to happen. I think this is where you're going to see JD McDonough come in.
So you see
I'm not sure what happened there.
You see JD McDonough replacing Damien and not be a 5-person faction.
I could see that, yeah. Like I said, they were teasing it a couple months ago. Then it got dropped. They say Vince, you know, it's all Vince's fault. But no, I don't think it was Vince's fault. I think it's just Triple H delaying plans because there's other major storylines in place that are going on right now. And this is what this is what Triple H said. There's storylines that are in place right now. If you put someone else in that spot, that's going to derail other people's momentum. And you don't want to do that. So, yeah, I could see JD McDonough finally joining Judgment Day. And they kick out Damian Priest. Like I said, I think you're going to see Priest here complete the full babyface turn. If not tomorrow, it's gotta happen sooner or later. Just has to.
So next up we get, hang on, Justin's got another comment here. He said he's feeling a failed cash in whenever it happens. Finn's just keeps giving Priest that look for you to keep screwing me over, so it's my turn. I don't know. I think if Damien cashes in, it's successful. Oh, what's up, Corey from Corey the Elite?
Well, the question is, can we have 2 successful cash-ins in 1 year? Because there's always that one person that fails it. It's like we never... Of course, no. I take that back. What was it? Who was it? I mean, I guess I wouldn't call it cash-in. I remember 2020, Asuka, remember it was the briefcase. And during the pandemic, she took the briefcase and it was the Roman's title was inside it. Remember that's when Becky went...
So what I read about that was Becky waited till after the match was over to tell people she was pregnant, and then they said they supposedly had a virtual meeting about it, saying, should we just give Asuka the title and just give her the title and take the briefcase back, or do we give it to somebody else and she can just cash in? And they gave Asuka the decision. Asuka said, just give me the title. So they did a segment where came out with the briefcase, and when they opened it, they had the belt in the briefcase.
Right. Like I said, you go ahead. What was that?
That's all it was. It was a virtual. Becky waited till the last minute to say, "Hey, I'm pregnant. I can't wrestle anymore. I can't wrestle for them for a while." And then they did a virtual meeting saying.
But my question is,
Asuka,
when's the last time we had 2 successful cash-ins in 1 year? Because like I said, 2020,
2019.
Was it 2019? Oh yeah, because that's right. Brock and who else was it?
Bailey.
Bailey. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Then they had Theory last year. Don't want to talk about that. That was stupid. They waited and did that.
No. You know what? The last The previous one was 2021. Nikki Ash and Big E.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about Nikki Wayne. Yeah, it's because that was the Raw after SummerSlam, I believe, right?
The Raw after Money in the
Or
Bank.
it was after Money in the Bank, okay.
The very night
Yeah.
after, and then Big E waited till like I think around October, and he cashed in on Lashley.
Right. Oh yeah. Yep. I think you're right on that one for sure.
So he was the last. So yeah, 2021 was. But if you want to say when they put the women's and men's Money in the Bank ladder matches together the same year, only twice both winners were successful, and that was 2019. I don't know about 2020. Otis won the briefcase, but they gave it to the Miz. I don't consider Miz a two-time Money in the Bank ladder match winner. He wasn't in the match. He just They gave him the Edge treatment because Mr. Kennedy wasn't being handed right, and they gave it to Edge, and they were claiming Edge as a two-time Money in the Bank ladder match winner also.
Yeah.
So we get the triple threat match. I will give a shout out to Bianca Belair. Her ring gear was pretty cool. I loved the ring gear. It was a very good match. I just kept having my fingers crossed, like, do not let Charlotte win the fucking title. Now I have one question. The spot with Bianca, was she really hurt or was that a work? That's what I'm trying to figure out because we thought she really hurt herself. And shout out to our friend Victor from the wrestling club. He said he knew it was a work. He could tell by how she sold it, how she reacted getting in the ring. He thinks it was a work. Like if she was really hurt, she wouldn't have put weight on it and couldn't walk on her knee. I thought she threw her knee out.
Right. But I thought she did too. She might have been hurt. I don't know. But yeah, it's just the way she came back in. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, she's back in the match. Can't be that bad. I mean, but I guess they said people there at Fort Hill said they threw the X up. So I don't know.
She even threw the
possible,
X up.
But I don't know. Right.
But
so it's hard to say.
She did so good in that match. Like I even caught you liked my tweet. I tweeted about how incredible she looked in that match. That 450 splash while Charlotte had the figure eight locked in. I thought that was it right there. But Charlotte kicked out. But I got nervous when she put her in that figure eight. That's when I was thinking, you know what? Maybe it was a work because if she really was hurt, she'd have tapped out in seconds.
Oh,
That gave Asuka time to spit the mist in Charlotte's face. I just couldn't believe Bianca actually won. I went to the Dark Horse and said, I'm picking Bianca to win the title. And if Io cashes in, she was going to win too. And I was like, okay, where's Io? And sure enough, she comes out. I got worried there. I thought Bayley was going to fuck her over and she was going to be unsuccessful. No, Bayley helped her. She cashed in, won the title, and then we see Dakota Kai. We haven't seen her since WrestleMania. They have a Damage Control reunion. And we were very happy. I saw one person pissed off that they took it off Bianca in 2 to 5 minutes. They all wanted Io to win, and I said, she's successful. And since 2017, since the women have had it, every woman has successfully cashed in and won the title. In the end, it worked though because Asuka was one of the best parts of the pandemic era. And he also said definitely looked like a work to set up the cash in. It was just incredibly lackluster, but Io winning was awesome. Yes.
See, what I also thought too, I'm like, oh, they're taking Bianca out. This is going to be a way to get the title back on Charlotte one-on-one now. I'm like, oh, great. Here we go again. The same BS every year, you know. Charlotte's good and all, but it's like every single year, does she really have to be in the title picture? It's just like give someone else a chance. See, I was kind of pissed though at that they had Asuka lose. Like I wouldn't mind if Asuka won and cash in on her, but I'm like, man, you give Asuka the title just to drop it in 3 months. It's just personally, I don't like that. It's like I wish she'd have a longer reign, but I am happy for Io though for sure. That was a very, very cool moment. 100%, she deserved it.
People were mad that they wanted Io to cash in on Asuka, not Bianca or Charlotte. They want this match so bad. We're going to eventually get it. And now I would love Kairi Sane to come back too.
It's reported she is. They're saying November. she's supposed to have a press conference today at some point to explain what she's doing. But yeah, it was all leaked out yesterday. She was coming back. I thought for sure yesterday she would have popped up maybe and helped Asuka retain. But I think this is going to hopefully lead to Asuka versus Io sometime down the line. I'm assuming that's where they're going with this. It better. Otherwise, they're going to have some pissed off fans.
Sorry, I was on the phone. Justin also said, WWE even protected Charlotte by not having her be the one getting pinned. You know what? I'm kind of surprised they didn't do what they've done. But
Charlotte can take a pin. Ain't gonna hurt her.
I'm just tired. It's obvious she's gonna break that record, but they're rushing it so fast. But I didn't want to see. I love when she loses titles, but it sucks where if she wins it and then just to have her lose it. Like we've already seen it happen. 3 times? Like when she won in 2019. Bailey cashed in on her, lost it. It happened again.
You know what I would say
with Nikki, and it happened again with Liv Morgan. Yeah,
I say the same thing. Say the same thing with fucking Bray Wyatt. They did the same exact damn stuff to him. He wins the title just to drop it 3 months later, and it's just I don't understand it. It's stupid, in my opinion.
Before we get to the main event, I need your take on this whole Bray Wyatt situation. You know. When do you think he's coming back? If he comes back, or is he still doing this character he did with Uncle Howdy, the so-called Wyndham Six or the Wyatt Six? Do you see the Fiend coming back? Or I really don't know what's going on with Bray Wyatt right now. But it's crazy that they brought him back to have this long feud to get to that pitch black match with LA Knight. And then after that match, we don't see him again. Right.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. Whole situation's weird. You know, they say I do believe he has, obviously whatever's keeping him out for this long, it must be very serious. You know, yesterday a report came out where WWE's being very careful about the situation. So my assumption is that when they say illness, my big assumption is maybe a breathing issue, something in that nature to keep him out this long. But I guess he was spy working out. But I do think, all these bullshit, he gets so much hate. I don't understand it. They were clamoring for him to come back, and now they're just trashing him. It's like, you guys got nothing better else to do but twiddle your thumbs on Twitter about a guy who's possibly, sick. It's just stupid. But I do think he's going to come back. When, I don't know. I was hoping last night. We hope every PLE is going to come back and show up. But I do think he's going to come back soon. I mean, if they're going to start teasing some stuff, have you noticed there's been skulls in the backstage area during segments on Raw?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't read nothing about him making a return at SummerSlam. Right. All I've been seeing is Randy Orton was going to come back, or The Rock was going to show up, and not one showed up, and I laughed hysterically.
Right. Well, that Boozer account. I think his name is Boozer Wrestling.
Yes.
He seems pretty accurate. He's hit everything on the head so far, mostly. He says he works for WWE. Anyone can say that. I could say that. Hell, you could say that. But he says something about Bray possibly getting involved with Cody or whatever. But that didn't happen. I guess they said that supposedly that was a long-term plan before he got sick or whatever. But they were going to also debut a new faction. But as far as his return goes, I think we're getting, like I said, he is working out. So obviously that's a good sign. He's out and about doing stuff. I'm glad for him. I'm happy. Hopefully he's healthy and doing well. So I'm going to say the return's coming sooner rather than later. When, I don't know. But I think he's just going to pop up on a random episode of Raw or SmackDown compared to PLE, honestly, in my opinion.
Okay, so we get to the main event. We get tribal combat. We get Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, and for the rights, or you get that whatever they call it, the little flower deal that he wears around his neck, the red thing,
right?
Boutonniere or whatever, to be called the Tribal Chief. Well, Justin always said, hopefully they don't bring Bray back to feud with Cody, because that would be a booking nightmare. Yeah, for Cody to
See, I disagree. I think, it all comes down to booking the stuff right. If done right, stories there where Cody was his pro, and left. The story is he left Husky Harris to do whatever, and failed him or whatever. And then I think in 2019, he tweeted something at Cody. This is when he was in AEW, like second year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He said something about revenge is a confession of pain or something. And like I said, the story's there. I think if done right, it could work, but you would have to benefit both guys in the process if done right. It has to be booked right for sure, and it would have to be a series of matches, not just a one-off. The way I see it, they could have did Cody versus Brock. I mean, not Cody versus Brock. Bray versus Cody, one match. Cody can win. Bray can win one. If done right, it ain't gonna hurt neither guy. Don was thinking for a third match, maybe more in like a funhouse match or something, where Bray brings him back to his past. I think that could have been interesting. But yeah, I think if done right, it could work.
So in this match, again, I felt like something was missing. Like it was some sort of it was a good match. I was expecting it to be a brutal fight because we didn't know what tribal combat really was. I was thinking it was going to be something brutal, but it wasn't as brutal as I expected it to be. There were times they dragged it throughout the night where, yeah, we did see a lot of steel chairs. We did see tables get involved. I saw they used no, it might have been in Cody. I think it was Cody and Brock's. I remember seeing a kendo stick at ringside completely shattered. And if it was Cody versus Brock, was that a no disqualification match, by the way? I thought it was one-on-one.
I was confused too. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? What's going on here? He hit some of the steps. I'm like, okay, he didn't get DQ'd. Well, there's no DQ. But they're speculating online. Well, the ring steps are part of the ring, so technically he's not using a foreign object where he can get DQ'd, which makes no sense because in the past I've seen DQs where someone gets into the steps, you're DQ'd. So I'm like, what? Yeah, I was confused too. I was like, what the hell?
That is 100% bullshit.
Right. I agree. I'm like, nah, makes no sense.
Steps can be used as a weapon, and if there's any DQ involved where you can't use weapons, it should be a disqualification.
And well, also that makes sense either is Cody Rhodes said in an interview with Sean Ross Sapp, I think. He said, I requested not to have a stipulation with Brock, he said. He's like, this doesn't need a stipulation. It's more than that. It's too big for a stipulation. This match is big enough in itself. We don't need no stipulation. But then again, I wouldn't call it stipulation. But then again, I guess the ring steps are part of the ring. So, you can't get disqualified, which makes zero sense to me. But whatever. WWE logic for you.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, so we get this match. And I figured something was missing. The crowd was kind of into it. Like, they were all rooting for Jay and booing for Roman. But, like, once they took it into the crowd, I had a feeling Solo was going to get involved. And Roman can't win on his own. And I'm going to talk more about all that, but I was waiting for Roman to Solo to show up. He shows up. Well, then it's basically 2-on-1. He takes out Solo, just like he did to his brother Jimmy, where he did the big splash off the barricade onto the announce table. Well, at one point, Jay is in the driver's seat, and I'm like, it's going to be a near fall. Like, he's going to hit that super kick or spear. He's going to go hit this big splash. I'm waiting for Roman to kick out, but instead we see a guy in a hood, black hoodie, pull Jay out, and I had a feeling it's fucking Jimmy Uso. And
right.
Sure enough,
yeah.
100%.
But 100%. Yeah.
I'm laughing at Michael Cole's words. And then Roman wins, spearing Jay through that table in the corner. It's over. I told people Jay was not going to beat Roman, but I did not recall them breaking up the Usos already. I said if we get a Jimmy Jay feud, it was going to be down the road. I didn't think it was going to be so soon. But then again, Roman is not scheduled to appear at Payback. He's not scheduled to appear at Fastlane. He's not going to appear until Crown Jewel. You got to have something to continue the bloodline story. Why don't we do brother versus brother? It'll probably be the main event of Payback if they don't put Seth in the main event. But the people were bitching on, of course, everybody bitches about everything on the internet. saying, what's the fucking point of the story? Why Jimmy broke the cracks if he's in 2 months going to turn around and go back to his brother. They were making the bloodline, not his brother, to his cousin. They're saying the bloodline civil war was pointless. This whole storyline is pointless. It's not pointless.
No, it's not.
It's kind of a smart move. You got to put something in this story if you're not going to have Roman at the 2 shows. I just thought it was too soon, but I understand. I'm not going to bitch at Jimmy for what he did, but I'm not going to bitch at Roman. Yeah, they're bitching about Roman being the GOAT. Roman, here's the thing. Roman is the GOAT at not winning on his own.
I agree there.
Right there.
I'm a huge Roman
and
fan.
I'm not arguing and bitching. I'm stating a fact. Roman is the GOAT at not winning on his own, and that's your prime example of that.
Right.
Justin said the main event was so boring, and the ending was one of the dumbest decisions. It makes absolutely no. That's what I just pointed out.
Here's the reason why he did it. Like I said, Jimmy and Jay requested this, so obviously they probably had some say in it.
They didn't want to wait till WrestleMania. I don't want it to drag all the way to WrestleMania.
No,
they might.
I said,
they might have more than one match. I can believe that. I can say a payback and then do your next one at WrestleMania.
Right. Are they doing this too early though? That's the question. Like, is it something it's like one and done? Jay's gonna get his revenge, beats Jimmy, boom, it's over with. See, someone else pointed this out. I guess the big bloodline story. I don't know if that ended or not, but Jimmy and Jay are gonna be doing their own thing. They say, and Roman's gonna do his own thing. So, was this a potential end of the full bloodline story? I don't know, but they said this is just Jimmy being jealous of Jay because it's his success. Where he's at in the main event spot and all that, which kind of does make sense in a way, But yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind it personally. I thought it was interesting. Last words.
The match though, it was. It dragged, but it wasn't shit. It was a decent match. I thought it was better than the shit they did 3 years ago in the Thunderdome. The fact they did it in front of a crowd. But it wasn't the match of the night. But I will say it was a good match for their story, their feud with. And Justin also said they should have never been any thought of breaking the Usos up. And the only time Jimmy and Jay should have had their much desire one-on-one was when they were both ready to hang up the boots. But I feel like they just ran out of ideas to continue the bloodline story. Like, why don't we just have them fight each other till Roman comes back?
Well, I think it's what they're going to do. Like, well, this storyline's creating so much buzz, and it's like, I don't care what anybody says. It's the top story in all of wrestling right now. Not even anything AEW, Impact, ROH can top that. Right now, that is the story in pro wrestling. And they're making so much money off of that. Viewership-wise, Paul Heyman used to say yesterday, people come to shows to see the bloodline. And more rightfully so, they come to see the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So Triple H is probably like, well, let's keep this thing rolling. It's creating so much buzz, and we're still, they're selling out arenas all over the place. Sure, you got Cody, that's definitely helping too. But they're like, well, let's continue the story. So we gotta find something to continue this wild story, with a bunch of cliffhangers and swears. And it's always something. Like, I thought maybe this would have been the end, but right as you think it's the end, they pull you right back in. Tons of swerves every time.
Here's my take. I think this feud with Jimmy and Jay is gonna be outside of the whole bloodline story. I think it's gonna it's gonna have something with it, but it's not because I think it's going to be because of jealousy. Like, it's going to give me the Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy thing. Like, they're pushing Jay, not Jimmy. 3 times Jay has had a shot at the world Universal title. He was called Main Event Jay. He had a better decent singles run. He didn't win no U.S. title or IC title in those 3 years. He won a shit pointless Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I think it's going to have to do with jealousy. Like, Matt Hardy was jealous that Jeff got the WWE Championship and he never did, and That's why they feuded. I
Exactly.
think something like that, like main event Jay and DWI Jimmy or DUI Jimmy.
Yeah, for sure. It, like I said, that's where it comes down to. Is jealousy. Jimmy is jealous because Jay has more success than. It's not really too hard to figure out, you know. So I'm really curious to see where this goes. Like I said, I'm assuming Payback's going to be the match, but question is that too early? Like, you gotta drag this on, but then again, it's something you're not going to drag on until Mania, you know, because what you got Jay and Jimmy, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with those filler pay-per-views? You know,
Yeah,
if you
you're
got
not
them
gonna
both on singles.
you're not gonna have Roman on there. You gotta put something. You're not gonna have Brock on there. You're not gonna have Roman on there. You gotta do something.
Right. Question is, is it Jake? Who's the younger brother that's in what company he's in or whatever? Is it Jacob Fatu? I think his name is.
I thought
Or
that
is it
was
something else?
I thought that was a cousin. No,
Is that a
Solo.
cousin?
I think it's a cousin. I know Solo's one of their younger brothers. Solo's the youngest
Right.
of them, but
I'm saying, do they bring one of them in maybe just to keep it going? Because
I don't know.
I thought that was something that they would have did like a
I don't
couple
know.
months ago.
I don't know because they thought Rikishi was gonna show up. He never showed up. The Rock
He
still
should've.
never showed up. I don't know.
Rock ain't gonna show up. I was
Rock.
clamoring for the Rock to come back. It's not
No.
happening. I don't think.
No, Rock. I'm taking the Rock out of this whole argument with the bloodline. And
See, you know what? They could have made more sense. Like, I thought they could have like made Rikishi the special guest ref or something. Would have made it more, interesting. Or like like a special enforcer outside of the ring. I mean, you already got Solo doing that, but if they had Rikishi out there, would have made it more, interesting and stuff for sure.
Well, if we get Jimmy and Jay at Payback, it can't just be one-on-one. It's got to be like a non-sanctioned fight or something.
And
something
is that
tells
what you
me.
bring?
Something tells me Jimmy might beat Jay.
Right. Yeah.
What were you saying
And
now?
is this maybe where they bring in Rikishi? Because he was teasing it. He's like, well, I gotta fix this and that. Like, this would be a good time to bring in Rikishi to fix their issues. Kind of like when they did with Dusty, when they did Stardust and Goldust or whatever, which that was a complete. That was a failed feud, in my opinion. They could have done so much more with that, but they could do something similar to that with Jimmy and Jay.
I don't know yet. It's too early to predict here, but
Right.
that'll do it with the Fallout. I will say though, SummerSlam, I did enjoy it. I rated it a 4 out of 5. If I graded it from A to F, I'll probably grade it a B because you do have one, but you have to have one bad thing about that night. And to me, the biggest dumpster fire was the MMA rules match.
Right. See, I thought they were going to have. What's that?
Match of the night, I thought. Well, no, you know what? I'll get to that later. Go. I have some questions for you before we close out, but I'll let you finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought they would have pulled some returns maybe. Like I was thinking Bray Wyatt or Randy Orton for sure would have showed up. Like that's one thing that was lacking in too.
They pulled one return all right. It was Omos.
The greatest return of all time. There's no debating that.
So
I love Omos. So
we can agree that worst match was the Ronda Shayna MMA rules match. Justin gave it a C+.
for sure.
It wasn't bad, but didn't. All right, I got a couple questions for you before we close out. Match of the night. What you got?
Finn and Seth.
I agree.
100%.
I said Seth Rollins and Finn. Oh my God moment. OMG moment.
EO cashed in. For sure.
Mine was Jimmy turning on Jay, but okay. This one was a hard one. Best entrance.
Oh, geez. Best entrance. That is a really good question.
I said Cody
I don't
Rhodes.
know.
Some said Seth
Right.
Rollins. Some said Jey Uso, or some said Roman Reigns. I said Cody Rhodes.
I'm gonna. Man, this is tough. Yeah, I give it to Seth Rollins just because he had the little touch of his old gear from his match with Finn 7 years ago, which was pretty hilarious. Seth, he's a mind game master, so just that alone, yeah, I'm going with Seth's entrance. That was pretty funny and dope in a way.
Okay, biggest feel good moment.
Biggest feel good moment. Probably Brock showing respect to Cody, actually.
See, that's what I said too. I said
Yep.
that some people put Io Sky cashing in and celebrating with
Right.
with Dakota coming back.
That was good, for Brock and Cody. That was just props to Brock for doing that, putting Cody over the way he did. He just, to me, he didn't have to do that, but he did it. So
some
props
people
to Brock
even
for that.
some people even put LA Knight winning the Battle Royal as a feel good moment.
Right.
Coolest look.
Coolest look. I'm gonna say Finn Balor. With his he had the 7 written on his shoulder there.
Yeah,
that
and
was
he
pretty cool.
put a black line over the scar.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I say Finn Balor, one of the best looks for the night, probably. I'd say.
I said Bianca Belair. I just liked her ring gear. It was like black and yellow and gray and white, and then her
Right.
like long braided ponytail was blonde.
Right.
It looked cool on her. She looked good. I was
For sure.
biased. I was biased on this one, but this is the last one. Greatest performer of the night.
Ooh. I'm gonna say. Maybe people are gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna say Logan Paul.
Okay. Some people said Logan Paul. Some people said Seth Rollins. Some people said this. I said LA Knight. I had to give LA Knight something. Just when he eliminated Bronson Reed on his own, that got me more. Like the way he hung with Omos too and everything. I have to give LA Knight something for winning that battle royal. So I'm gonna give him best performer of the night.
For sure. Hell, Logan Paul's slingshot lariat though, it's just so damn good when he hits it.
Yeah.
He's a natural at this. It's like he can hate the guy, but hell of a wrestler.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. That will do it for today. We got to wrap up. I know you said you got to work in a bit, but real quick before we close out, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at capital I Schuetter, so it's ISCHUETTER. You can find me on Twitch, WWE_fans 6789. I do have a YouTube channel. It's under Isaac Schuetter, but like I said, I haven't really used it probably in over a year, but I still got my content from the past on there, so if you want to check that out.
Podcast you can find on Twitter, Twitter X at Worldly Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and we're throwing another one in. The Worldly Podcast is now on Threads at Worldly Pod. Basically, it's the Instagram account is on Threads. If you follow the Worldly Podcast on Instagram, also follow them on Threads too. I just discovered Threads like the other day. Like I got a notification about it, and I'm like, "What the fuck's this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like if Twitter and Instagram had a baby."
Right, they got a lot of new stuff coming out. Then they're renaming stuff like Elon Musk and that stupid Twitter X, which God, it's I don't know, nonsense. That's what it is.
The podcast actually has a TikTok, but Dylan don't really use it. I don't have TikTok personally. TikTok.
I hate TikTok.
I like to watch. Stupid. I can watch the same videos on Facebook Reel or Instagram. It's the same shit. So. Right. It's avoiding having to download the app. So, but. Again,
sure.
You know where to find us now on all audio platforms. We're free and available. Apple Pod, Google Pod, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. Give us a 5-star rating and review. I did drop an audio episode today. We did Great American Bash Show 4. It's available now. Be sure to check it out. But this was fun, man. It was nice finally talking to you in person and seeing what you actually look like, because I didn't know. I was expecting dark black hair and eyeglasses. I'm like, no, we got blonde, dirty blonde, Michigan white boy.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. Love to do this again sometime.
When you said you were from the East Coast, when you said you were in Eastern Time, I thought you were like from the East Coast, like from New York or something.
Nope.
From Michigan. All right.
Nope.
Hell yeah. Another state to say we've added on to our show. We've got a boy from Michigan on the show. All right, man. Take it easy for all our listeners. Thank you for tuning in. Isaac, I'll holler at you again on Twitter next time. I'll have to check out. Always watch your match playing and everything. I'll hit you up on
Appreciate it.
download in the future. But for everybody else, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys later this week. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend and stay cool.
Eyes like they're hypnotized.